everyone. Welcome to Boards and Bottles. Now, normally I have Dan here with me, but Dan is actually sheltering in his home right now. And why am I out here? Well, because why can't we do a special Hurricane Milton Boards and Bottles episode? Special edition. Obviously, we live in Sarasota, Florida, which is pretty exciting, except for the fact that we're about to get Hurricane Milton coming in to ruin our party, making direct landfall in Sarasota, Manatee County. So anyway, we thought we would do a quick little episode to talk about games that you would actually play during a hurricane. What better time? It's so on our minds. So first of all, when I think about a hurricane, I think about all the preparation you have to do. And it's so easy to get so consumed in everything that really truly does matter. Putting up shutters, making sure you have your evacuation plan, water, all that stuff, right? Very important. But also, what are you going to do with all of your downtime? So in our area, there are a lot of people that had to evacuate. So that means that you're going to different shelters or you're going to friends' houses. A lot of people are first responders, so they're having to go into hospitals like my wife. So you're there and you can't take much with you. It's like pillows, just a couple like simple little belongings, some clothes, that's it, a sleeping bag maybe. So you gotta tuck a little game in though. So what kind of a game do you take? Well, we've talked about how All Play makes so many wonderful little box games, but this is also an exceptional time to be doing something that would be a game pleaser for everybody, like a good group game. We're thinking like So Clover, Bahamas, anything like that, social deduction games, something that's going to be easy and light for people that have had such a long, tiring day. It'll be wonderful to be able to just relax, take your mind off of it for a minute and play that game. Now, I'm also thinking about all of those people that are like me and staying at home, sheltering in place. We know the power is going to be going out very shortly, which is why I'm zipping this episode out right as it's about to make landfall, because the power is about to go out. So I won't have all these fancy lights and things like that. So preparing for that is important. You need to know where your flashlights are, everything like that, but what are you going to do with all of your downtime? Obviously, rebuilding, checking to make sure everything's okay around the house. But if you have kids, family, if you have friends staying with you, you have to keep all the masses excited. So what I immediately go to is thinking of very simple games that can play even in low light, because this is not the time to get out some big Euro with lots of little pieces that you have to be worried about. No, this is the perfect time for you to be looking for a game like Splendor, Azul, something that has pieces, Seven Wonders, those kind of like great games that we know and love. Put those out. You can see the pieces very clearly. Sometimes they have big honking pieces, easy to teach. All those games like Ethnos and Archeo Society, the reboot of it. Great games to bring out with friends. Castle Panic, Wandering Towers, games like that have just very simple components, easy setup, and again, you hopefully won't lose the pieces. So, exciting. Those are kind of the games that I always think of, because I'm not going to get out a Blood Rage or something crazy, Rolling Heights with all the little pieces that go off the board. So, things to think about there. So hopefully, when you're doing your hurricane prep or any major natural disaster, think about those games that are fun to bring along. Now, the other part that we always think about is what to pair it with. It's important in a hurricane or any kind of a natural disaster to have your wits about you, so you don't want to be tying one on. You hear about hurricane parties and craziness like that. Well, it's good to be responsible, a very responsible adult, so you'll want to take it easy, right? So, obviously, the hurricane season happens usually right around the Oktoberfest. So, I always think about Dunkels and Märtzens and Feist beer. So, I, tonight, will definitely be partaking in a little Sierra Nevada Oktoberfest Feist beer. That one looks tasty and delicious. And then it's another good time. There's so many great non-alcoholic beers out now, and I know you might think I'm insane with that, but you have to try them. And this is a perfect golden opportunity to try it. So you have beers like Athletica. They make all different kinds. Some are hop forward, some are not. It's a great time to try those out too, so that you can feel like you're having a little bit of a beer or a drink or something, but you're actually definitely not getting any even closely intoxicated. So important to keep your wits about you. Make sure that you've got your games ready and packed. Again, you don't have to save every game in the world, but save, play a couple small ones. And then one thing I always think about is, obviously when you're preparing, you worry about things that may get lost. Total loss of home, flooding, things like that. So when that happens, sometimes it's the perfect moment to have one of those whiskeys you've been stashing away, or any kind of a spirit that you're excited about. If you're worried about losing it, there's no time like the present to try it. So it's okay to have a little bit of a dram and enjoy that as well. So that's just my advice over this hurricane season. I hope we all make it through fabulously. Woo, that wind is coming in. All right, I'm going to go inside and get safe and hunker down. I hope everyone is safe out there, and thanks for joining Boards and Bottles, our special Hurricane Milton episode. All right, thank you. Bye.